my name is Katie from my Greenland Quilter channel, and today is Saturday. We're 3 weeks into October, as most of you have noticed, and like I was talking about yesterday, it sure seems like the time is flying by entirely too fast for even me to keep up with. I am just I'm a little bit frantic because I've gotten so far behind on all of my projects and just everything in general because of what's been going on in my life. It's kind of got me just a little bit, I don't know, something. But anyway, while I'm waiting on people to come in, I got another Sweetwater envelope in the mail today, so I thought I would share that while I'm waiting on people to come, and then talk about what I'm going to do for tonight. I think the plan is what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the block that I didn't get finished last night because I had to stop due to pain. I was really close to finishing the block, so I'm going to finish it today, and then I'll work on my dragon fruit for as long as I can tolerate. I don't know what we're going to do about the pain, but anyway, for those that don't know who Sweetwater is, they're the Sweetwater Quilt Label Company, and let me get a. I don't know if I put Sweetwater link in my bot, actually. Let me see if I did. I may not have, which means I need to be putting it in there. Let me check and see if it did or not. It may not have. Yes. Okay. So if you go to that link, you can have a look around at their quilt label subscriptions and stuff, and they started adding on different little things too. But anyway, here is the newest Sweetwater label. So this month we got 2. Some months we'll get like 4, which means they'll be smaller. Sometimes you'll only get 1 where it'll take up the whole piece of paper. But aren't they cute? I'm getting quite a collection of quilt labels these days. So that is from Sweetwater. And I posted the link in the channel for the company itself. If you also have, if you're a channel creator and you're in the chat right now, you're more than welcome to type !selfie to share your link. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Terry. Hello, Linda of Irish Sail Lady. Hello, Pat. She was here first. Hi, Denise. I think she was here. No, Denise was here first. Sorry. Oops. Did I put Pat up there? Uh-oh. I hope I didn't. I don't know. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I did put Pat. I'm sorry. I must be losing my mind. Anyway, hello, everyone that's already here. Hi, Linda Faust. Good to see you, too. All right, so what I'm going to do is we are going to finish up this block. Let me show you where we are on it. I had already sewn parts of this together. Wait, that's in the wrong place. This should be over here. Yeah. So what I got to do is, that's interesting. I have things in the, oh, the board got turned around. That's what's going on here. Okay. So I need to fix a seam here. I went back and looked at it, and because I was in pain, I was having a little bit of issues focusing yesterday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish what I started here. We're going to get this block together one way or the other. And I think y'all are going to love the block because it's a cute block. I really like the pattern's pretty simple. The only problem I had ran into was the way they asked you to make. They didn't really tell you were making 4 flying geese at once. All they did was tell you to cut 2 squares at a certain size, and that's all it said. It didn't say what to do with it or anything. So I guess they were assuming if you're an advanced sewer, you would know these things, which I don't consider myself to be an advanced quilt maker yet, because I still lack some of the skills that an advanced quilter might have. I think I'm effective in what I do, though. So, I'm not putting myself down on that part. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this seam in here, sew this to this one, and then I have to finish sewing these two together here. And then I can start putting these together so that you can see the whole block. Hi, Joyce. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Sherry. Uh, hey, Jaja. Welcome, welcome. Do you know who Martin is? I was being silly, which is rare for me. No. You'll have to tell me who Martin is because I wasn't sure what that meant. Sometimes I don't get jokes, probably because I don't know about a comedian or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to sew this together here first on this side. Let me lay this up here out of the way. And hi, Robin. Did I see where someone said Becky was in here? Hey, Becky. Sorry, I didn't see you there for a minute. Let's see. Okay, so just bear with me here. If I seem out of sorts, I still am. So we're just gonna do what I can do. I feel like that I last night's live didn't go as well as I would have liked it to go. Uh-oh, I need to take care of something here. One more thing I got to do with this. Hold on a minute. I want to do something about this scene. Be right back. Going to grab a salad, says Joyce. Okay. I want to do something with this seam line real quick and go get it to the iron real quick. Let me make sure I did the same thing with this one. Yep, already did that one. Okay. So hold on 1 minute. Okay, now I can sew it. All right. I just needed to do press it on the back. I forgot to do that. All right. One of the things I'm noticing with this block is my seam allowance seems a little bit wider on a. Hey, Rita, in my opinion, your live yesterday was just fine. And Sherry says I did great last night. I felt like I was messy and all over the place and struggled with trying to get, because the block's not hard. I wanted to finish it last night and I got a little frustrated because I didn't get it finished. I'm just being honest with you guys. It's just how I felt last night after the live. But that could have been pain talking too last night. So, how has everybody's Saturday been? And what have you been working on today? Tell me in the chat. You notice I haven't got a poll made because I didn't know what I wanted to ask. I could put another big word up there, but I don't know what I want to do. In the meantime, are any of you guys going to be doing anything special for Halloween? Are you a Halloween kind of person? Or are you like me, you don't care about the holiday, but you like other holidays better? I could put a poll up there and see which holiday most everybody likes the best. Working on watching Katie live, says Rita. How was your day today, Rita? Is the internet fixed yet? Sherry says, I finished a quilt top for my granddaughter-in-law. Oh, that's awesome. And hey, Campbell's Creation. Let me see here. Rita says, I'm always all over the place. Aha. All right. She said, let me see. Sherry says it's John's hubby's birthday on. Oh, wow. So do y'all go and do something special, or do you stay at home because of everybody being out on the streets? Hey, Susan. She says, hi, everyone. Dropped off items I entered in the fair. Queen size double wedding ring. Wow. Quilt. Star table runner. Amish star pot holder. Mini NCW wallet. Bread and butter pickles. Apple. Oh, wow. That's a lot to enter in a fair. And Rita says, nope, not a holiday person. And she says, internet works at this second so far. And then Campbell says, I have been working on finishing a quilt on the cutie frame. Oh, cool. And then Susan said, I used reproduction 1930s fabric, took about 7 months to just make the top. Hey, did you see that Fat Quarter Shops? I don't know if you watched her live Friday or not, but she was showing new fabric lines that'll be coming in next year. And there's a one of the fabric designers is doing a 1930s fabric line, and I don't know if you saw that or not. Kimberly was talking about how when they first started Fat Quarter Shop, they used to have 1930s reproduction fabric all the time, and then over time, they weren't seeing it as often as they used to see it when they first started their business. Okay, let's get this one sewn. I thought that was pretty interesting. I loved the bunch from her live stream. I know there was a lot of cool fabric, that's for sure. Sherry says, he looks like you're the trick. He likes that you're the tricker treaters and we celebrate with birthday cake. That's cool. And Sherry says she likes 1930s, but I'm standing up for a reason, y'all. Sherry says she likes 1930s fabric. I like some of it. It's kind of like I like some of the 18th century reproduction stuff too. Some of it, but not all of it. Thomas was telling me that he's been working quite a bit of overtime on his job for the past 2 or 3 weeks. Sad thing is, what I found kind of a little upsetting for me as a mom is Impact, which was where Blaze was going to after school, is no more. And so his son is spending 2 hours every afternoon by himself after school at home because Thomas is working and he doesn't have a babysitter or someone who can watch Blaze. So he's a latchkey kid. Denise says Martin Lawrence, actor comedian, uses phrases like "what's up" or "what up, what up, what up" when he addresses his audience on his role as a radio DJ. Oh, gotcha. Now I understand. And then Campbell says, I love me some scraps. You can make lots of stuff with those. Yes, you can. And I've been using a lot of scraps myself. Susan says, I made my mom a quilted stars jacket. That's awesome. Hey, Sherry, y'all that have channels, you and Campbell's and whoever else is in here that has a channel, type exclamation selfie to share your channel. Okay. Let's go here. I'm going to take these over and press them. Hey, Shelby. Shelby says, hi all. I will be just listening today as I get some things done and run some errands. And everybody, our channel creators are sharing their channels with everyone, which is what I wanted you to do. Ooh, this is hot. Hot to trot. Hey, you want to show that, babe? That's a. You want to show them what you're going to be doing in December?
Oh.
Well, they would find that interesting. Show them what you picked up today. Because it's an Advent box. Nikolai found a little surprise in the store today. Susan says quilted jackets are all the rage right now. I still haven't made myself one. Yeah, I haven't either yet. Becky says, what part of Ohio, Susan? And then Linda says, I'm back, got my coffee and ready for break. I've been long arming today and loving it. 3 quilts done and a bunch more to go. Oh, congratulations on that. Nikolai's going to show y'all something.
All right, well, everyone, while shopping today in the store that I same time picking up the mail, I found this little gem. It's a Christmas calendar. They already start to the stores already start to bring in their Christmas sale out already.
I know, it's so early.
Mid October.
I know, isn't it crazy?
It's a little bit crazy. But I will try to probably maybe make a video out of this. But whoops, it will be.
Show it to that camera over there.
I got it right here.
Okay.
It looks like it looks like this.
That one looks like it's going to be fun. Sherry says that is cool, Nico.
That's all right.
Jaja says fun. Toledo is about 3 hours from where Becky is. And then Rita says she thought about making a quilted jacket, but seems like a waste of fabric and time because it would sit in the closet. So not cold even here for a jacket of any kind. Yeah, that makes sense. Hi, Jean. Okay. I'm ready to. What are you gonna do? Show the inside right here?
Yeah, I need to.
There's a pocket knife in the third drawer right there. It's right down there, third drawer. See it right there? Yeah. There's not one on the other side.
You can see it look like that way. But if I flip it on the other side, it will be like this. Then I can open it like this, so you can see 24 small compartments and a little area where I can just place them around this. Like I can make a small decoration with this in the background. There will be small figurines that I have to try to find a spot to this area. But I can already say that there will be
hey, is that gonna make? Is that implying a little train?
It's a very little train.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Small gift boxes are what do you call it? Remote control vehicles here, and some looks like 4 different minifigures. 2 kids, 2 adults, I'm probably at the end of it, there will be Santa again, and I think I already got up to 10 Santas different.
That's awesome, babe. I can't wait for when you start building them so you can put them in on the train set. Let me see. There was some comments too. Jaja says you have to buy them now because closer to Christmas they will be sold out. Susan says, Sherry, I'm in Florida. My mom is staying with my best friend in Ohio. Denise says, got to get it while you can. Shortages are predicted because of tariffs. Yep. Becky says, love that, Nico. Rita says, so is it flat? What do you mean flat? I don't know what you're talking about. Susan says, very pretty Legos. Denise says, my daughter put a grocery item in a Wally's cart yesterday. When she went to buy it 4 hours later, that price increased by what? No way. That's crazy.
What?
So she says her daughter put a grocery item in the shopping cart yesterday in Walmart. When she went to buy it 4 hours later, the price increased by $2.90. And then Rita says, oh goodness, dog's having a concert. Haha, I need earplugs. Hi, Andrea. Hey, how's your I don't see Andrea in here. So who are we talking about? As Susan says, I noticed yesterday when checking items out in for the fair, a little kid made a Lego macaw bird, blue, yellow. Oh, that's cool. Hi, Dawn. Welcome, welcome. I hope I see Steph in here tonight because I want to thank her for what she did yesterday. She came in here yesterday in the live and she told me that Kevin of Tuber Chat had shown my channel in the live chat last night. And after the live last night, he was still live, so I slipped in there for a few minutes. Come to find out, Steph had super chatted and asked him to show my channel. So I really appreciate that a whole lot because, you know, that's how we've been exposing each other. Okay, Jaja says, I believe they changed the price tags to digital so they can go up while you're shopping too. That is insane. And then Denise says, this was the online cart. She got a message that the price had increased. Wow. She says, Walmart is notorious for false pricing. Hey, Alec. I think living with MS is Alec, right? Or Alex. And Dawn says, awesome. That's cool, Katie. Yeah, when he told me that, I'm like, oh, wow. Because when Steph came in last night, she told me that Kevin had shown the channel early in the live. But she didn't say that it was because something she had done. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you to her. I always appreciate when we help promote each other's channels. It always helps one another. And right now my watch hours are down a little bit, and I figured it would happen because of me not doing any lives. You don't usually see a downslide until like maybe into the second week, and since I've had 2 weeks in a row where I didn't do any lives, you finally start seeing the results of that. So I'm just pinning this next section together is what I'm doing. And I'll be doing that with each one of here. And then once I get this attached to this and this attached to this, then we'll go ahead and sew horizontal on here. But this is where I do a lot of pinning so I can make sure that these parallel seams line up the way they're supposed to. Well, this doesn't have a parallel seam, but this one up here does. You can see right here, there's a seam here, and then there's a seam here. And you want these two seams to line up right here. Or as close as you can get them to lining up anyway. Alex says she likes the colors I'm using. Thank you. I decided I wanted a little more green in the after I get right close to the end of the live, I'll take this camera up here down and show you all the blocks hanging up. There's only one that's not hanging up right now, and that's this one over here. I am seriously, and I know what you're going to say when I say what I'm about to say. I am seriously thinking about remaking that. I'll still use the same colors, but I figured out what I did wrong on it, and I'll turn this into an orphan block. I had an idea, and I was going to talk to y'all about it a little bit. I have several orphan blocks. I have several blocks that are, there's something wrong with them. As you learn, you make mistakes, and some mistakes can't be fixed. So you end up with a block that has, that's not the way you want it to look. And I had this bright idea that I would gather, because I have quite a few orphan blocks and what I'm going to call misfit blocks. And that is not in a negative way when I call it misfit. I think it's kind of a cute name. I thought I would call this quilt top the misfit orphan block quilt top or something. I'll come up with something funny, or someone will help me come up with a name for it. But I thought I would sew all my orphan blocks and the flawed blocks all into one quilt top, and then give it a name that lets you know, well, this quilt top is not meant to be perfect. It also shows, how much I progressed over time, since I first started. And I think it's a great way to show newbies that even when you make mistakes with blocks and you're afraid to use them in something, you still can create a beautiful quilt top out of it. Even if you put it, you can even take it if you want it to, if it's the right size, you could put it on the back of a quilt top that you've done that there's nothing wrong with it on the front, and put your misfit on the back of it as a backing. So there's different ways you can use this. You can make its own little misfit quilt, or it's just it by itself, or you can use it as a backing. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do it. Yeah, exactly, Janet. Flaws can be beautiful. And I thought, instead of leaving these blocks stacking up in a box, and I think I have enough right now probably to make a quilt top pretty close to it. I thought about, after the first of the year, going through all my blocks to see how many blocks I have, and then I'll have to design a layout for it. But it'll be a chance to do something in 2026 to show what you can do with flawed blocks or orphan blocks. Because I feel like y'all have known me long enough now and watched enough of my life to know that I don't hide when I make a mistake. I don't stop it and then come back and give you a picture perfect block. None of my blocks are perfect. If you look at them really close, you might see little tiny flaws, but they're not like big flaws. But they're not perfect either. And the other day, and this is going somewhere, the other day, Cotton Cuts posted a question. Excuse me. And the question was, are you more concerned with having perfect 1/4-inch seams, or are you more concerned with having perfect binding? Which do you lean more toward, was the question. And I put in my answer was, I'm not looking for perfection of my 1/4-inch seam or looking for perfection on my binding. But what I am striving to do is be more consistent on what I'm doing. I'm going to keep making mistakes because that's just me and my nature, especially when we're talking about angles and stuff. But if I can stay consistent on what I'm doing, by being consistent, even a newbie, if you stay consistent with what you're making as a quilt top, by the time you get to the other end of the process, you have a beautiful quilt that comes together the way it was supposed to come together. It may not necessarily have perfect 1/4-inch seams, but if every one of your seams are similar and consistent, that quilt top will come together the way it's supposed to. It's not gonna, there's no way anyone can make a perfect quilt. Let me see. Susan says, Boo Boo Zan, B new quilt block. Oh, that's cool. And Joyce says, a lot of time flaws are not noticeable unless you point them out. That's right. And Carrie says, that's why I join you. You keep it real. Yeah, I'm not going to hide my mistakes, because I feel like if I make a mistake and you have someone in here who struggles with this same style of a, maybe this particular block is challenging to someone, and they see I've made a mistake, but instead of giving up on it, I went back and did something to fix what I could of it. And if it's not fixable, then we just go on with it. Because I want people to see you can do anything from very little instruction from a book or from a pattern, especially if, because people write patterns, any pattern. It could be, this is what I've noticed over my 60 something years. English is subjective to start with, the language itself. But then people write differently. There is no one size fits all when it comes to how language is written, how instructions are written, how patterns are designed, how recipes are created, and then how the recipe, when you get like a recipe, a cooking recipe, it gives you all the ingredients, but then it gives you instructions below, and how you read it might not be what you thought it meant. And you'll discover you made a mistake during the process of reading the instructions. So by messing around with things, and most of us, as we get older, we figure out what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And I know that I'm a visual, hands-on kind of girl. And a lot of times, even though I read and I'm a good reader, there's nothing wrong with my reading skills. It's just sometimes when someone writes something, I may not articulate it in the way it was meant to be articulated, and that's okay. And and it's the same thing when you're talking to someone. You might be talking about something and the other person's looking at you like, huh, what are you talking about? So it's the same with this quilting pattern. Perfection is a skill picked up over time, says Fever. Hey, Fever, welcome. The more you make, the better you get. Yeah, practice. And also the other thing is when you stop learning, that's when you probably will be 6 foot under the ground. I feel like we as human beings will always continue to learn regardless of what it is we're doing. All right. Let me see. Judy Smith, she says, hi to everyone. I'm sewing and listening. The Misfit Blocks of Greenland, the Imperfect Quilt. Yeah, right, Alex. That's actually a great title, because that's what I was thinking I wanted to do with all the blocks, because I have plenty of them from the beginning till now. And I guarantee you, when I pull all those blocks out, I am going to see a progression of when I did my first block versus where I am now on these blocks. And I will see a difference. And it's the same with anyone else. As you keep do, and you get better, and you go back and you see some orphan blocks or a block that you didn't want to put in something, and you're like, wow, look how far I've come. And that's something to be proud of, not something to hide or be ashamed of. Never be ashamed of mistakes. You learn from mistakes and errors, and that's what part of this is all about, is you learn and learn how to correct a mistake. And if a mistake can't be corrected, then you still learn from it and then maybe go about it in a different way. Let me see, I want to copy that name. And you know what? If I thought I could enter an imperfect quilt in a quilt show based on that title, just to show that even a quilt full of mistakes going to be beautiful, I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, yeah, they probably wouldn't accept it in a quilt show, but think of it this way. What if they did? Just so you could prove a point that even though there's a bunch of mistakes in this quilt top, it's still beautiful. Susan says, I always make sample blocks first out of scraps. And that is a great idea, because yesterday when I was trying to figure out this flying geese issue, because I don't know how to make 4 flying geese out of one square and the stitch and flip part of it, I made me a sample out of a scrap that I had. And that scrap piece will just go into my bucket, which will be turned into a scrappy quilt. I'm not going to throw it out. All right. Susan says, practice, practice, practice. Then Campbell says, yes, practice will help you become better. Joyce says, on my friendship quilt, I lost 1 inch on every 4 unit block at least. I was consistently off. Yeah, but it came together in the end, though, didn't it, Joyce? And from what I saw, the picture, it was beautiful. And Fever says, with all skills, muscle memory is never instant. No, it's not. And Carl says, if you don't make mistakes, how do you know how to recover from them? That's right. And I think it's a good lesson for all of us to learn, and it doesn't matter when you start learning how to sew, or when you start learning a new craft, or a new, learn some new niche that you, it's just like being a YouTube creator. Boy, oh boy, talk about making mistakes. Like Denise today, she caught something. I set up my live this afternoon because I was so tired. I was so in pain last night that I just decided I was going to bed. And so I never did set up my live last night for today. So this afternoon, I set up my live, and I always have the live at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. But sometimes, especially if I'm not focused, I will put that 4:30 in my YouTube channel, and it'll be 4:30 Greenland time, which means it would be 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's not what it was supposed to be. And so she caught it, and I was in the bedroom setting the TV to play the live, and I looked at the TV saying it's this time, and I'm like, wait, what? So I come running in here. I had message from Denise already, and when I looked at my YouTube studio part that you set up the lives with, sure enough, I had put 4:30 p.m. Greenland time. So I was glad it got caught early enough to fix it. So even when you're a YouTube creator, you can make little mistakes like that, or you can leave out, if you're using a secondary software to do a live with, like I'm using Zoom. It's very easily to forget to transfer some information that you need from YouTube over to Zoom, so that you can connect the two together in order to do the live. And a lot of times I sometimes forget part of it. When I first started out, I kept making the same mistake over and over. It was one little tiny step that you have to do, and I kept forgetting to do it. And then when I go live, I couldn't go live. And then I would be asking Sean for help. And Sean's like, did you do this? And when I go look, I'm like, no, there's your mistake. And now I don't make that particular mistake. But I do sometimes forget to put something you got to add to Zoom. Sometimes I forget to add all of them. And when that happens, I might have an issue where I can't go live until I fix it. But now I know how to fix it quickly without freaking out when it happens. Hello, Katie. How are you? Hey, Jacqueline. I'm doing okay. Don't stress about it. It's only fabric, says Susan. That's right. Sylvia says, if you've never made a mistake, are you really being challenged? Risk needs to be tried, and most fear mistakes Learn with the mistakes. Yes. This is something I had a discussion with my youngest daughter. She's like, Mom, I keep killing my plants. What am I doing wrong? And I said, do you write a journal of how you're taking care of your plants? No. I said, well, this is what you can do. You can get you a notepad. It don't have to be nothing fancy. And every time you get a new plant, you keep a record of what you're doing. Or if you I would remember what I did most of the time. But she says, well, you never killed plants. I said, oh yes, I did. I killed my fair share when I was a teenager. Even though I tell everybody it's my superpower, yes, I killed my fair share of plants, but I also figured out why I killed them. And I told her, I said, you're never ever going to be able to have a house full of plants without at least losing several. And since you're keeping yours inside your house, the number one killer of all houseplants is overwatering. Some people will beg to differ on that and say, well, underwatering. Plants can live longer with less water inside a house because of the lighting. There's a lot of things that contribute to how a plant grows inside a house. The lighting is lower, the atmosphere is different. There's a lot of scenario that happens in a house. And so a plant can go weeks without water, it will start turning a certain color. It'll turn an ash color, and it'll start to wilt a little bit before it ever hits plant death. With overwatering, you can kill a plant within 2 or 3 weeks of drowning it because soil acts like a sponge, and plant like you can root plants in water and they never die when they're sitting in water, but you don't have soil involved in it. So the transfer of oxygen and CO2 and stuff is different with the exchange when it's growing in water. But when you put soil into the mix, the oxygen exchange that goes on between a plant and the air is different because it starts doing the exchange above the soil line, not below it. So when you flood it with water, you're literally choking it. Laura says, I've been trying to help clean up from the flooding mess in our base. You had flooding, Laura? We recently transferred my sewing room from there, and now everything is in a pile in the middle of the room. Ah, yeah, I understand that. It's kind of like me and my sewing room that still we're not in. Alex says, you never know until you try, Katie. I'm willing to try to enter my faux leather quilt, which is not and will not be perfect in shows. Then you should try. You are doing a great job, Cole. Thank you. I need to find me a show that I can actually enter something in. I was asking someone the other day if you could enter state fairs, and apparently you have to be a resident of that state to even enter in a fair. Which means the only state I could actually enter a quilt top in would be Florida. Will you crack the window again, babe? Okay, now let's talk about this block for a second. You notice that there's going to be this secondary square here. Uh-oh, I see something I didn't finish. Oops. Anyway, what I was about to say is this, you're going, when I get ready to sew this together, you got to make sure that these seams come together where this line here lines up with these. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here. This is not, until it's sewn, you won't exactly see it's perfect, but, or not perfect, but in line with each other. So there'll be that secondary shape come into play soon. But I forgot to fix this seam. Alex says you can enter in any of the international quilt shows. Yeah, but those are the big shows, right? I and they won't necessarily, they may not even allow me to put anything in it. Unless I take it there in person, and that's not going to happen. Unless I'm already in the States at the time. I was trying to look to see if I could find something of smaller venue so I could test run first, if that makes any sense. One thing newbies need to learn is to press a lot. Yes. Arizona had 2 hurricane convert. Yeah, I heard about that, Laura. I didn't realize that you had flooding though. I'm so sorry about that. My goodness. She said they were lucky in comparison to so many who had problems. Hi, Nancy. I'm okay. I can tell you that I'm in pain. Yeah, but it's worth a try. You can mail it. Okay. Does any of you have one that is you can recommend? Maybe you guys can talk a little bit about your experiences with different international shows and um, which one seems to be the easiest to enter in and which ones are the more difficult ones to enter into. Because I'm not looking to win a ribbon. I just want to enter something and see what kind of feedback I get on one of my quilts. How did you end up in Greenland, says Janet. Love. My husband's a Greenlander, and when we got married and we sat down to discuss who was going to do the immigrating, we decided, or I decided that it was going to be me because it made better sense for me to do it because immigration to Greenland is simpler, easier, and less traumatic as far as navigating all of the laws and rules and things like that. And we figured it would be just too hard for him to immigrate to the United States. Also, the other problem is he works for a company that is a big fishing company, and he's worked for them now 31 years. And we tried doing research to see what kind of jobs he could do in that industry because that's what he loves doing is being at sea. And the only things we could see is potential, maybe some potential jobs in Alaska, but apparently the ones in Alaska are only seasonal, and he don't want a seasonal job. He likes this being able to work any time of the year, and that's his main. He doesn't have a secondary trade because that's what he's done his whole life. And so when we were doing the research to see whether it would be hard or easy to get that type of job, it's very difficult unless you know somebody. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and start sewing these rows together. Katie, I've been thinking about you and praying that your pain levels would have improved. Um, you remember how I told you it was all over the place on my right side when this first started? Now it seems to be centralized in one area. The problem is when I sit in this chair. Um,
Not good. Not good.
What?
Fire.
Where?
A building is in a fire.
Who's built?
Remember the little store down there? Right in front of it, there's a fire right here.
In the apartment?
Yeah.
Oh no. So that's what I heard.
Yeah.
There's a fire down the road, y'all. The block is called Tile Works. It's Tile Works by Monique Dillard of all places, Open Gate Quilts. And a lot of you are familiar with Open Gates because there's several YouTube creators who have subscriptions to Open Gate. I'm assuming it's the same company. Maybe I shouldn't assume. I should go look first. Uh-oh. Wait. Make sure I don't. All right, let's get this in here. So what I like to do is first I like to, because there's points involved in this block, I want to take my pins and line those up first by putting the needle through the seam on each side of it so that I can get as much of this seam allowance accurate together that I can get, hopefully I can get it lined up properly because we have this secondary pattern showing up and that will probably give me a little bit of grief. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Shirley from Alaska. Hey, how's things over in Alaska right now? I've been following what's been going on over there right now. I saw where I don't remember the name of the town, but where they were flying people out from Nunavik. I think that's the name of the place that was flooding. That small town that's just up from there couldn't has a population of 6,500, I think is what they said, and they couldn't handle the influx. So now they're flying Inuits to Anchorage. Oh, that's a big fire.
Yep.
Oh my God. I really hope no one got hurt. Look, y'all. This is right down the road from us. Dang.
I have some people that come watching there heard they say that they heard some people there.
Screaming?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope not. Fire is an evil thing. West Coast is in a mess, says Shirley. Yeah, I've been following it. Several villages damaged, some beyond repair. Yeah, some of them got wiped out. From what I was seeing yesterday, some of this could have been prevented if money hadn't been cut off to they were supposed to get a grant of money to help deal with the flooding part of it, and it got cut off. So those that were waiting on this money to come so they could start working on flooding issues didn't happen.
Some people said they heard people inside the fire, but fire department's about to approach now.
They got ambulances there too?
Probably. But I heard that the fire department's arriving now.
People need to stay away so they can fix it. Villages have been taken to Bethel and into, yeah, that was the town I was trying to think of because they said Bethel only has a population of 6,500 and they couldn't handle the whole influx because they were flying. I think 1,500 people became homeless. That was the latest number I saw. So all of y'all prayer warriors, put them in your prayers too, because they're going to need help, especially with winter approaching. I can't even imagine losing my home in the middle of October. I heard this morning that only food for 72 hours and electricity for 2 days in some areas. I don't remember the name. Yep, I've been trying to keep following on it. Hi, Felicia. So yeah, y'all keep them in your prayers too. And the only way they could get in and out of there to rescue them was by helicopter because the runway had gotten damaged by the weather. So any fixed aircraft couldn't even fly in to get them. So see, when I talk about being remote, that's how we are. We're very remote. And so currently until our runway's ready, the only way in and out of this town is by helicopter. Or once a week, a passenger ship comes through here and you can travel up the coast that way. But if they had to do an emergency, like what they're doing in Alaska, we would be in trouble. Because Nuke is way up the coast. Some small planes were able to land, said Shirley. Oh, I didn't hear about that. Animals are being brought out also. Yeah, I saw that. Some of the people with their pets were bringing their pets with them, which I think is only fair. Hi, Pat. That's the best great grands. How awesome. Uh, Janice says we had a house fire in December 2008. Lost everything except what was on our backs. I was trapped in the. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I watched it when I was a young girl. We lived in a area where it was all mobile homes. My my parents had bought 2 acres of land and put a trailer on it, and so three trailers down from us, one caught on fire down there, and I stood there and watched it burn, and it burned in like 5 minutes, the whole thing. And I told my mother, I said, so does that mean our trailer could go up that fast? And she says, yes. And I said, so why are we living in something like this? And her answer was it was the only thing they could afford at the time. Because I didn't know they were such traps. But I was young back then and I had no understanding of how things worked. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Fever Dream, have you come across any? I don't know if you can answer this or not. I know you've been putting a lot of old movies and stuff up on the channel, your channel, all black and white and stuff. Have you come across any access to any of the really old black and white Godzilla movies? Or do they have those where you can't even do that with them? All right, let's get this first piece sewn. And I'm going to stand up for a minute. Melissa says, Janet, that is so hard. I'm glad you are safe. Yep. Are you going to be checking? All right. if you would be walking in and out or not. Okay. No one got hurt. Okay, so I want to show you something because I think this will be a good learning experience for anyone because we have this secondary design coming in here. Now, this is not perfect or right. I mean, it's off like maybe by a couple threads or something. So I'm going to put it up close to the camera where you can see it. Can you see how this is just a tad off here? I mean, just minute. And it's the same down here on the other side. Same problem here. It barely is in alignment. Well, this one's in more of alignment than this one is, I think. Now, when I'm going to press the seams open, and we'll see what it looks like after I do that. But you see there's a gap here on this one. I can go back through here and only if I want to take the time, and I'll probably do it after the live. I won't do it during the live unless someone wants to see me do it. I could remove the stitch line, just this much of the stitch line. Okay. And then I can take my pins and realign that to get it more as close to accurate as I can. Now, does that mean that if you put it far away, can you tell if it's misaligned just looking at it? Probably not. So as you the sewer, you can decide on whether you're going to leave it like that or if you want to play with it and see if you can get it to squeeze in more. When I look at it from a little bit of a distance, you really can't tell. And probably when I press it and I'm going to press the seams open, it may lay down like it's supposed to, and it may not look as off. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to press this, and then we'll see what it looks like. Thank you, Laura. Katie, just a bit of something to help you meet your target. Thank you for everything you do. Aw, thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate it. I have a little secret to tell you guys. I have ordered another camera. All right, I'm going to put this on the board and I'm going to try to get this up to the camera again so you can see it. I pressed it with the seams open. And I'm going to put it right up where you can see it. Can you see how it's just I mean, here, let me use my pencil. You can see it is just barely off right there. Just barely. Same thing over here, just barely. I probably am going to leave this alone because I don't think it's going to bug me too much. Maybe later this one might bug me. We'll see. So, but I wanted you to see how sometimes this can happen, and there's a way to fix it. All you would have to do is just rip out this much of the seam. You do not have to rip the whole darn thing out because down here it's fine. Just you would take out a certain amount here, start here to rip the seam out and rip it maybe to here, then realign it here the way you want it to be. Same thing over here, just rip this part out, starting from like here and going here, and then take your pins and realign that seam there, and then sew it again and see if you get it closer together. If you don't want to do it, then you leave it like it is.
They have put out the fire.
They got it all the way out. Thank
Yeah.
goodness for that.
Looks like they'll put it out. It's still, but it's still
Smoking.
Smoking, yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of people out there now.
Probably a lot of concerned people. Those people, probably not to mention the people that live in those apartments.
I don't know. It could be that we hardly have any fire, so we.
Well, yeah, it's a spectacle like it always. It's a spectacle even in my home country.
Yeah.
People will stop what they're doing to go see what's going on. All right. Fever says the Godzillas are still all copyrighted. Okay, I was curious about that.
Not Godzilla, Gojira.
Gojira.
Yeah.
Genesis, thanks. There were probably a foot of snow on the ground, and I don't even have a pair of shoes. I was never so happy to have firemen find me. Yeah, I can imagine so. Melissa says, "Oh my goodness, Janet, I can't even imagine." Denise says, "I can't tell, and I would mostly leave it as it is." I'm probably going to leave it alone because I mean it's just off by like a little thread spot, and it's because there's multiple seams coming into this area too. Katie, seriously, would need a magnifying glass to see that. It is absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Janice says, "Oh, Laura, State Farm insurance was so bad to deal with, too." Then, hey, Andrea, she says, "I would leave it. It will not be noticeable after it's cooled. No one on this earth is perfect. Perfection belongs to heaven." Yes, it does. Laura says, "Janet, I'm so sorry. We had State Farm and have never had an issue with them helping us." Okay, let's go ahead and sew. I'm caught up with the chat. So let's go ahead and sew this other part and let's see what happens when I join these two together. Artists notice mistakes they've made that no one else ever sees. That is true. And like I said, this is so small of an error. I'm probably just not even going to mess with it because I could always make it worse by screwing with it.
Oh yeah. I'll close the door because smoky and everything.
Has the smoke come all the way down here?
It's quite
or it's up above our house?
Up above the house, but it stinks.
I'm sure it does smell bad because plastic and everything else. Nothing worse is that kind of fire.
Yeah.
Well, from that picture, it looked like there was a lot of black smoke. I wonder if they had a grease fire.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
Because
sooner or later we hear something.
That or someone fell asleep that was doing something.
Well, you know, people talk a lot. We hear it soon.
I'm sure we'll hear something, or it'll be in the news. I mean, look how fast it took them to talk about the fire off the East Coast. And that happened at 6:30 tonight. There was a fire also off the East Coast in a really small remote village, right, that's attached to the airport apparently. And so it damaged some of the equipment at the airport as well. But there's no comment on how the fire started yet. We don't know. Making things worse is my specialty, says Shirley. And Felicia says, "I would leave the block as it is, Katie." Yeah, I'm probably going to leave it alone. It's not going to fester or bother me. The block behind me that I talked about, I'm thinking about just remaking. I know what I did wrong, and the only reason I want to remake it is so that I can make sure that way when if anyone asks me, well, why was this off, I can tell them the answer because I think I figured out what I did wrong. And this is a good way to learn. I mean, very good learning tool. Stroll over to Jaja's channel and subscribe. Oh, yeah, that's the night box. Yeah, y'all, if you're not subscribed to Zaza's channel, the bot has posted her link. Go over and share the love and become a subscriber of her channel. By the way, yesterday when we were talking, Someone made the comment, I don't remember who, that I could make it to the 10,000 by the end of the year. What do you guys think about all of that? I don't want any of y'all to think that I'm going to change the way I do things, though I'm not. I'm just going to make some things better, like y'all being able to see what I'm doing better. We're getting closer to that. Thanks to Sherry, we have this apparatus where I have my phone on it. And that's what you're seeing this part from is from my cell phone on the apparatus that she sent to me. And the little camera that I ordered is similar to what Tammy uses from the Siberian Wind channel. And I should be able to mount it to this apparatus and it has a zoom button on it where I can zoom it in and out so you can see things closer. So that's what I'm going to try to do with that instead of using this ancient telephone. Hi, Katie, and all in the chat. Katie, was the fire in a house or a restaurant? No, it was in an apartment. It's 2 floors or 3, babe?
What? 2 floors.
2 floors, yeah. It's a 2-floor apartment. Terry says, yes, I do think it's possible. Finally caught alive, says Joan Reed. How about that? Hey, it's good to see you. And Pat says she thinks I can do it too. We'll have to do a huge celebration. You know, if that happens, when I do my 3rd annual 12-hour live, we're going to have to do some celebrating. Laura says, hey, y'all watching? Can we get Katie to a target point for super chats? I enjoy Katie's videos and I know y'all do. Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, I'm trying to get to a certain goal. And when I reach that goal, we're going to do something very special. All right, I'm almost close enough to sewing this here in just a minute. Let's take this out. And this one's got to come out too. But this one looks like it's slightly off. All right, let's see what happens with this side. Shirley says, tried, but I can't remember. She says she can't remember her dang password. Joan says, oh, that's even worse. A lot of people will be homeless for a while. Yep. Because that looked like a big fire. So it probably affected more than one apartment. We rarely have fires in this town. I think that's the second or third fire that I know about, and I've lived here for 14 years. So it's not an everyday affair that happens. We probably hear more about new cabin fires than anywhere else. But Nuke is big. Well, not big compared to a lot of smaller cities in the United States, because like Lake City, I think, is 150,000 or something people. It may be bigger than that now, I don't know. And Nuke only has, I think, a little under 18,000 people, but it's all spread out. Okay. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Okay, let's have a look-see at this one, and let's hope for the best. I'm going to take a quick peek first. And yeah, this one is pretty off right here, but let me show it to you after I press it. Oh, it's just because of. Okay, let me show you what's going on here. I haven't pressed the seam open yet. This one is off maybe by less, between an eighth and maybe half of an eighth. See right there? I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there. But that's fixable, and I'll probably do it later. But the rest of this is fine. I'm gonna leave the rest of it alone. Let me finish pressing it so y'all can see the final block. Okay. And this is tile work. 19 from this 1,000 block book. And here it is. Laura says, I was just thinking, my heart is happy. There's so many bad things happening around the world, yet we all come together with the love of sewing. It really is a beautiful thing. Yes, it is. If it weren't for this, I don't know what in the world. This is, we have each other, and that matters a whole lot. What do y'all think about block? Hope you like it. Like it, like it, like it. Uh-oh, I touched the camera. Robin says, she's been hand sewing and lurking. Sherry says, beautiful. Robin says, beautiful. Andrea says, beautiful. So does Felicia. So this is it. So I'm going to pin this up on the where I've been pinning all these blocks. And I'm going to yeah, take this camera here and show it to y'all right at the end of the live. I'll show you all the blocks so far, because we're going to hit number 20 on the next one, and then I'll probably take all the blocks down and show you up close all 20 of them. Shelby says, I really like your color selections. I'm so, when you look at all these blocks hanging up, there's a, because I told you guys I've been making these blocks, except for this white background you see, everything else is coming from scraps. The white, and not all the blocks have the white, because I chose to do that, is the only part that has yardage involved in it. So hold on a minute and let me pin these up, and then I'll try to take the phone off the thing so I can show it to you. And then hopefully we won't lose the camera when we do that. And these are not hanging up straight, so be aware of that. Most of the blocks are around 12.5 inches. There's one that is a little tad smaller. It's like 12.25 for some strange reason. And I'm not too worried about that because of the setting that I'm going to use out of the book. I can modify the sashing to accommodate for that 1/4 inch difference. Okay, hold on a minute. I hope I don't make anybody dizzy. There's all 19 blocks so far. Babe, look at that. So it's going to be super duper colorful. So now you know how it's looking. Trying to get them, you know. Uh-oh. Y'all bear with me. I don't mean to make you dizzy with this. All right. Now, for those who haven't seen the layout I'm going to use now, I'm going to do the queen size, which means I have to make 30 blocks. Yeah, 30 blocks. But I can show you what the layout, because I made it, it's a scrappy quilt, as you can see, with lots of colors in it. I haven't figured out what I'm going to use as a sashing color yet. I mean, I could use the background, but I'm not sure how I feel about that just yet. So I'm still formulating on whether to use the white as the sashing, because right now I have half and half, where half of it's using the background, half the blocks are using the background, and half are not. And I did that intentional. So I got to figure out if I want to just continue on with the white, and then those blocks that have the white around the outer edge will make it look like it's floating, which they do look like they're floating like that. And that could be another second effect to this whole quilt. But here's the layout I plan on using. Unless I change my mind. But so far I haven't changed my mind, because this one's been really talking to me. It's not batting Jaja. You know what it is? It's 2 Roman shades attached to each other and then hung from the ceiling. It's one big, when I mean Roman shades, it's made of cloth, and you can put them in your windows and you can pull them up and down with this string. And so what I did is we put hooks in the ceiling, because I had lost, my ability to use my design board in the craft room until we get that situated in there. and we hung it from the ceiling, and then I'm just pinning these blocks to that cloth Roman shade. I think that's what they're called, Roman shade. Yeah, I think the white would too, because the ones that do use the white as the background along the outer edges, it could just make those blocks look like they're floating. Yeah, it was a simple solution to a problem of, because there's the only solid wall, well, my mandala's on it, and I'm not taking my mandala down. So I had to come up with a solution, and that was my solution. Use 2 Roman shades hanging from the ceiling. Okay, now let's talk about this next block, because I didn't get a lot of voting on this last block, so I want to talk to y'all about it, because I don't want to do this block if you're not on the same page of wanting to do it, especially the ones who are sewing the blocks. Hang on, I gotta look up the name of that block, because I need to know what page it's on. Hold on a second. Oh, it's not on this one. But I did write it in here. Bear with me here. Gotta find it. Okay. The next one's called Clown Go Around. Go Round. All right, and that's on page 231 of the book. Okay. Now this one has back when we were talking about this next set of blocks, I asked if anyone wanted to broach over to the subject of doing a mixed technique block, because we've been just doing piecing blocks, which there's a whole section in this book is all piecing. Is what we've been doing. This section that this block comes from, called Clown Go Around, has mixed technique, meaning it's piecing and it's also FPP. The FPP portion of this block can be downloaded from Interweave, and I actually have the link for that, and it's free. You don't have to pay for it. Now, having said that, if you have the book, you'll have the measurements for the piecing part of it. If you don't have the book, you'll have the part of it that's a foundation paper piecing, but not the measurement for the blocks. So there's that. But mostly everybody who's sewing has the book. So let me show you this block. It's block number 447 on page 231. And it was the last block for this set of 4. And it's just paper piecing. On the 4 corners are paper piecing, and the rest of it's regular piecing. Yeah, so, okay, she says, go ahead and do it. Okay. So this book has several sections in it. It has a section that is applique, and I don't know how to do applique. That's why I haven't even tried to do one. Then there's FPP, where it's exclusively FPP. Then there's mixed media, which this block is mixed media, or mixed technique, sorry. And then it has a whole entire section of piecing. And I thought this block would, because it doesn't look that complicated to me. Here, let me show you under this smaller camera. These are the 3 pieces involved in the paper piecing part. Just these 3 pieces. And because it's foundation paper piecing, all you're doing is sewing them into the paper. So there's not, and then just sewing these together the way it's set up in this block here. And it actually shows you how to sew each piece together here. So it shouldn't be that difficult. To me, I don't think it'll be difficult. It might, I might eat my words later. You never know. I might discover it's more of a problem than I thought, but I don't think so. And it'll be fun for y'all to see something slightly different. Okay, and that will be block number 20. So this upcoming week, I will be posting another set of 4 blocks for y'all to vote on. I'll put it on my community tab and in my Facebook group for y'all to vote on, because I know some of you don't use Facebook, but you can vote on my community tab, so either one will be fine. Okay, let me catch up on the chat, and then I'm going to work on, let's see. I'm doing good. I'm not in pain right now, so I want to sew some more. So I'm going to work on my dragon fruit stuff, but I want to catch up on the channel first. And then we'll work on dragon fruit. Okay, let's see. I have to back up a little bit. Andrew says, do you have any batiks that have multiple colors? You can make it a scrappy satin to continue. I have some batiks that are what you call, I guess, ombre. It goes from one color to another. And then I have one that's I have 2 or 3, I think, that are like 2 yards or 1 yard, I think 2 yards, where they have multiple colors in them. I'll drag them all out, and next week when next Thursday, I'll have them where we can look at them and have a discussion about that as well. Tomorrow, and before I forget, don't forget, those of you who attend the mental health once a month get together, that's tomorrow. I'll be posting all the links and the information, so don't forget about that. That's at 4:30 tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. And we definitely, Danny's going to be coming up with a topic, but I also think I want to broach the subject of when you get, like I was this past 2 weeks where I couldn't do a live or couldn't function because pain was so bad. I think I kind of want to broach that subject on what do we do with our mental health when we're experiencing something that it wasn't to me, it was catastrophic when I found my butt in the hospital. But it has interfered in my life, and my husband had to take off from work to make sure that I was taken care of, and he's going to stay the whole time that he would normally work. So he'll be here until the middle of January, because he's concerned that, if it gets out of hand again, I won't have no one to help me. So I think that's something that we should discuss tomorrow in the mental health, on how we can handle not getting down in the dumps when something like this hits us. And Laura Supp's been down. She's been sick on and off for the last year. And I think that she has shown a strength, and she's been with us. As soon as she was able to get back, she's been coming to lives. Now she's not been able to sew much still, but I think it's something that we can share with one another, and someone might have an idea that they can share with us on talking about that, because this is a safe place for all of us to talk about mental health, and anything you say there is not going to get you in trouble. The only way you could get yourself in trouble is if you're attacking somebody, and no one's even done that. I mean, it's been a pleasure, let me tell you, talking about such a taboo subject, and the things that I've learned, and the things that people have shared with, other people coming in, sharing with us. It's been a blessing, such a blessing. Okay, let me read the chat before I get talking too much. All right. Joan says, the blocks are great. Will you be moving them around? Yeah, I will be moving them around. I'm not going to mount them in the order we've done them. I had an idea, and we'll talk about this too. You notice how some blocks have no background in them? I was thinking maybe I could do like half the quilt where it's all the solid blocks, and then the other half will be where all the background is. Or I could rotate every other block where it's one solid, one with the background, one solid, do it in that direction. Or I could do because there's some blocks that have lots of hot color in it, and some blocks that has super cool colors in it, meaning like blue, like there's some blocks here that are purples and blues, and turquoises. Those are cool colors. And then I have some that have lots of reds and yellows and oranges. You can even set up a setup where you'll have one side of the quilt having these cool colors going in a progression and then moving over into the hot side of it. You can also do that. I've thought about doing that too. Totally off topic. I feel like sharing. I just bought tickets to see Casper tomorrow evening. Why is it $35 for 2 tickets? Oh my gosh, for a 30-year-old movie. Really? Wow.
Casper?
She's going to go see Casper the Friendly Ghost at the theater, and it's going to cost her $35.
Jeez.
Wow.
I think I had it in the VH.
Yeah, but she's going to the theater to see it.
I know. It would be fun.
It'll be fun seeing it in the theater. That's right. I mean, we haven't sat in a theater in forever. Alex says, sorry, I didn't vote this week or last week. I had a terrible, rough time with MS. I am having a relapse with MS. I hope you get to feeling better, sweetie. Joe says, hi, Katie and Chatters. Shelby says, wow, that's pricey, Jaja. Is that a traditional movie theater? And then Alex says, I say do mixed media. Yeah, that could be done too. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's set in stone right now until I get closer to start. I think I need to start auditioning stuff and figure out what it is I want to do. The only reason I'm concerned is if I was to use a darker color, the blocks that have the darker color, it'll bleed out, and I don't want it to bleed out. So there's that too. Stroll. Wait. Becky says, I think I've lost my sojo or just feeling extra depressed. I just don't have the energy to go into the sewing room. Becky, I understand that. And Clown Go Around looks like it will be fun, says Pat. Join us tomorrow and talk to us. We might could give you some ideas on how to get you out of your mojo, out of your your loss of mojo. I have an idea that this is what I do sometimes, and you can try this if unless you've already tried and you're still not there. I like to take small piece. I have lots of stitch and flips where they need to be sewn to, because I don't throw my stitch and flips away. So I sew them and turn them into half square triangles. If you have a stack of them sitting in a bucket, or even if you have sewn your stitch and flips and they need to be pressed and trimmed down to a certain size, this is something that you don't even have to think about. You just, what you're doing is you're turning them into half square triangles. And then you could do some, this is an idea too. I've taken a lot of my stitch and flips and I just randomly sew things with them. There's no thinking. This is just me trying to get it when I was off on my mojo, doing stuff like this. This is something you can do to try to get you back in the mood for sewing. Because a lot of times you think, well, I don't want to sew because I'm not in the mood because your mojo's messed up. But what you don't realize is if you do 2 or 3 of these, before you know it, you went from doing 2 or 3 to 10 of them. Or you might go from 2 or 3 to 20 of them. And then suddenly you're like, what can I do with this? Sew them like this. And then all of these blocks, when you sew them like this, can eventually become another scrappy quilt. Or when I was talking earlier about orphan blocks, you can incorporate it into an orphan block quilt top. You can do anything with it. And this could help you with your mojo. Or, you know, if you want to talk about it, we're here. You will always be safe in my channel, and you can talk about when you're not, you know, when you're having trouble. I'm always open for that. I never ever want to turn anyone away from the channel just because they put in the channel, I'm depressed and I need to talk. We're friends. We are a community. We are family, you know, and when someone's in trouble, they should be able to say, hey, I'm having a hard time. Can I talk about it? You know, and if I could hug you, I would give you a hug. You know, just like Laura's been having a hard time too, and you know she's not been able to sew, and she says her sojo's messed up right now. And so if we all come together and help each other out, especially when we have needs, like mental needs, or we can't sew because we're just really bummed out. Sometimes words just help. Us offering to hug someone, if you need a hug, I might not can give you a physical hug, but here's my virtual hug to you. If that will help. Whatever we can do to help each other, because the world is tough right now. Laura says this past year has been really difficult. Thankfully, the friends and family she's found on YouTube has gotten her through some difficult times. Hey, Stacy, good to see you. And Andrew says, I end up moving my blocks around a zillion times before I decide on the design. Then I second guess myself when I'm putting it together. A finished quilt is a perfect quilt. Yep. I'm sure I'll be moving them around multiple times before I ever figure it out. That's why this will not get finished until February probably. I told y'all in the beginning that it was a year-long project, and I'm thinking February we'll start putting. Now, the ones who are sewing it might want to do theirs sooner. I don't know how many blocks Andrea and Pat plan on doing. I just know I need to do 30 of them for a queen size quilt. And I'm hot, by the way. Alex says, I think it's because it's the anniversary. Laura says, Andrea, I think I'm the queen of second guessing. Okay, hang on. And Joe says, sometimes just going through my fabric stash helps for inspiration. Yeah, there you go. Looking at pictures is another thing. If your mojo's all messed up, sometimes looking at other people's quilt tops or quilt blocks, or some block just suddenly piques your interest and you start looking here like getting itchy fingers and want to sew. There's always these different things you can try to do. Becky says, maybe I will try that, Katie. Maybe that will work. Thank you. Yes, it works for me sometimes, not all the time, but just see, this is my little bucket right here. And it's full of this kind of thing.
Just steam left.
Just steam left. And when I'm in my funk, that's what I call it, I come in here and take a bunch of them out and start sewing them together. And the idea of sewing when you're in a funk or your mojo's all messed up, your goal is not to think about what you're going to do with them. Your goal is just to sew. Sew them any way you want to. You don't have to get fancy or nothing else. The less you think about it and just go through the motions of sewing, and before you know it, your brain kicks in and suddenly you're sewing up a storm. Shelby says, I like to do that too, Katie, or cutting up scraps into, or cutting up your scraps. Yes, that's another idea. I'm sure you have lots of scraps that need to be cut down to different sizes. Like I have so many scraps. I don't see how in the world I can make that many blocks and have more scraps than what I started out with. It's crazy. All right. Hey, Susan, you're out. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Cindy, if I didn't say hi already. Your subscribers have really taken off since days. Yeah, I know. It's shocking, isn't it? I don't even know why. All right. We are now almost 7, 8, 9, almost 2 hours in. Okay. Do y'all want to hang about longer, or do you want to, or is there someone live you want to go to next? Tell me in the chat, because if you want to hang about, I thought I'd work on a couple of my, go ahead and migrate to month 2 of my dragon fruit. Tell me what you want to do. Do you want to leave and go to someone else's? I don't know if anyone's live until, I know William goes live at 12 my time, that's hours away right now. But I didn't know if anybody else y'all know goes live after I do. Robin says she'll stay with me. Okay. All right, let me show you what the next set of fabric is going to look like. I think I might have already showed you, maybe. Okay, I've got this fabric right here. And I also need the paper piecing pad. So these are month twos. All right, where's my paper piecing? Hold on, bear with me for a minute. I got to find the rest of the kit. Well, I thought I was going to work on dragon fruit. If I don't find my paper piecing, I can't work on it. Unless I accidentally put it. Hang on a second, y'all. I might have accidentally put the paper in the wrong bucket because I'm doing two different paper piecing projects. Oh, it's not in this one. Oh, that seems to be a problem here. Well, maybe I'm not going to work on that tonight. We'll work on the exploding stars instead. Because apparently I've misplaced. We've been moving things around in here. Because we've been working on the living room so that we can use it as a staging area. And I changed out a couple things in here. So I have put it somewhere. Now I got to find where I put it. It should have been. Oh, that's not good. All right, we'll just work on the star climber instead. Because I have the paper right here in front of me. So we'll just do that instead. Sorry, guys. I thought I was going to work on dragon fruit tonight, but I guess not. All right, because I don't want to spend all day trying to find it. I'm sure it's right here in front of me somewhere. Which is kind of annoying. Okay. Let me see here. So to refresh y'all's memory, I was doing the star climber with Sean. And Sean has finished his. I don't know that if we might still be going to continue to sew a little bit on these because I think he planned on making some more stars because he's working on it. I don't know. He put a couple of his star climber because he made a couple different kinds of projects with some of them. and he entered them in a state fair, and he actually got ribbons out of it, which was pretty cool. This one is for okay. So to refresh y'all, let me show you. These were for the Star Climber. We're using courthouse stairs and the woven star. And y'all, my stars are going to look really cool because they're super colorful. And I'm mostly making the stars all with warmer colors, and I'm making all the courthouse stairs mostly with cooler colors. So it gives that effect of warm, hot, you know, warm to cool to warm again. That kind of setup. I just want to do something interesting is what I'm saying. Okay. And through the learning process of this, I have to say that this particular star, it is so easy the way Kimberly set this up to do this. You know, if you watch her video, she talks about making rectangles for the star part of it. And by doing it that way, you have these pieces that can be used on the courthouse stairs too. Because you end up, and of course you end up with scraps too to make more scrappy stuff. Okay, let me catch up on what's being said because I'm sure I missed something. I know I seem a little disorganized here. Stacy says she can hang for a bit. She just finished her premiere. I need to go watch her premiere too. I watched a playlist of yours the other day. I've been watching playlists like crazy lately. Pat says she can stay a while. Laura says she might doze off because she's exhausted. Let me see. Hope things are drying out for you in Arizona, says Susan. Stacy says, I just posted an unboxing video for a new mic for content. Oh, I'm going to go watch that for sure, Because I'm thinking about buying, I want to buy one of those big mics and then hang it from the ceiling so that when Nikolai talks in here where he's at, y'all can hear him better. And when I talk, it's not too loud. Let me see here. Wow, your daughter got roof damage and her ceiling fell down in her mouth. Oh no. I didn't realize the storm was that bad, Laura. I heard about the flooding. Laura says, I love your attention to colors. You always do a beautiful job putting things together. Thank you. I haven't studied color theory, just so you know. I do have a color theory book and this other thing that talks about color. I just do what my brain tells me to do because it's fun. And I am really, 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 really itching to start working. Remember, I've said this to you guys in the past that I want to make 100-color book or 100-color quilt. I am really itching to start working on one and just take pieces of scrap fabric and start sewing it together and just go from there until I have this one big, huge quilt top. Where is everyone from? Asked Stacy. And then Joe says, I try to remember everyone's name, but ... And it sounds like someone messaged me. All right, let's work on the okay. Let's see here. Let's pick some colors. All right, so let's use this color. And then I want to use a lighter color for that one side. So let's incorporate this one. That's going to go with that one, or I could use a pink actually if I wanted to. Pink might also work. Let me look at my pink stuff. Let me see here. Ooh. And we're going to so I get two of those. All right, then we're going to do, yep. All right, now let's find a different color to use. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to pick two sets of colors. And you have to use two because we're doing two different sides. What I'm doing is I'm rotating colors is what I'm doing. No. I do know I think I need to find me some more hot colors. All righty. Why don't we do okay. This is pretty bright color, yellow orange, so I'm going to use that color instead. So we'll do that one. And then I think I'm going to use a really light color right here of this color. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Now I got what I want. Okay. And this, it may not make sense what you're looking at right this minute, but it will make sense when I get done with it. Katie, I have to get back to my woven stars, says Pat. So, okay. Join me on that then. And I need a sharpen a pencil. Becky says, me too. It's an awesome community we have. Yes, it is. I love that we can connect from all around the world. Me too. I have to say that because I'm a wife of a sailor, that having the internet like we have these days has made my life much easier to handle when I'm by myself for, long periods of time, because sometimes I just need to talk to people. Okay, I need scissors. So what is everybody going to be doing tomorrow on Sunday? What's your plans for tomorrow? I was hearing a conversation, I think it was on YouTube maybe, and we were the discussion was about because I was in the bedroom when I was listening to it. The discussion had to do with how um how because this was an American talking about it, how Americans work their butts off and never really take time to just do things that are relaxing or to get enough sleep. They work more than they sleep. And this particular person was having a discussion. I guess she had a health issue or something that showed up because she wasn't getting enough rest and stuff, and all she was doing was work, 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 work. And when she got sick, she realized that there was more to life than just work, work, work. And as YouTube creators or sewers, we all spend a lot of time sitting in our chair sewing. Some of us don't rest very well, like I don't. I don't sleep at night like normal people. And this past few days, because of the situation going on with me, I've been able to sleep a little bit. In fact, Nikolai said that he thinks I've slept more in the last 3 or 4 days than I've had in a long time. And it made me realize that, our body can only take so much of burning the candle at both ends before we start, something manifests itself and creates a problem where it either puts you down or you get sick. And and the only way to get past the sickness is to rest. So we all should think about, and this one person said maybe that's why God put in the Bible about the seventh day being the day of rest, because Jesus didn't work 7 days a week either. That's food for thought. And I don't talk much about religion on my channel at all, but it was what she said that caught my attention about how we were always go, 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 and never stop. And we don't take time to, take care of ourselves, or at least our bodies. And I think that that's something that we all should think about, especially as we get older. When you were young, I can remember going days without sleep. Sometimes I do it now, but not as often as I used to. But anyway, I thought that was a really good thought about taking time to just chill out and relax. A lot of times lately what I've been doing, because of all the pain and stuff, and I just can't bring myself to watch. I've kind of cut myself off from watching much news other than what's going on with Alaska right now. But what I have been doing, like I told y'all last night, is I've been on a bonanza run and on a big valley run, and also I've been on a music run. And I've been listening to a lot of music, which music's always been a part of my life anyway, because I can remember before I started having kids, it wouldn't be unheard of for me to be listening to music all day long when I wasn't working, just because it helped me escape. And when when I lived at home, we had to wait till our parents left before we could even sneak listening to music. Okay, let me see. I missed something. Oh, sorry. Stacy says, totally agree. Katie is so relaxed. Aw, y'all are sweet. And then Pat says, no, Stacy, I do not have a channel. Too much tech for me. And then Alex said she'd be right back. Fever Dream says, animating few horror style cartoons. Oh, great for Halloween time. And then Stacy says to Pat, I feel that for sure. It's really hard work, but hopefully it's worth it. I do all sorts of creative things on my channel, but editing and running a channel it is a lot of work, especially editing videos. I don't know which is harder, editing videos or running lives, because they both really tax you. Tomorrow will be church, and then make my stained wood cabinets look brand new again, says Stephanie. Oops, Cynthia, sorry. Pat says she's taking a great granddaughter shopping for some new clothes and maybe some fabric for a new quilt. And Stacy says, I'm the same with sleep, but last week I went 3 days without sleep and I was so dizzy and weak and struggled with the simple test. It's weird when I get exhausted now, man, it just wipes me out. Stacy says, I didn't sleep at all last night. Robin says, cutting sugar helps. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of sugar either. I just can't sleep. Cynthia says, my oldest son has made it a habit to make Monday his Sabbath. He's in a ministry, so Sundays are usually a work day. Laura says, I'm an insomniac for sure. I have medication that helps, but tea night, I have to completely tune out. It's difficult for sure. Yeah. Stacy says, totally with you on music and definitely editing for me, but I'm getting there. Yeah, I wish I could find a more user-friendly software that you can actually outright buy for editing videos with. I don't want to pay a monthly fee to use editing software. And my laptop has a software on it that it's most of the time it's doable, but sometimes I crash it, and if it crashes more than like twice, I get kind of frustrated. And those are the times when I wish I could actually download a specific user-friendly video software editing program that I could buy outright and own it, not pay any rent every month on it. Fever says, find editing is easy at side of animating. Huh. Sometimes I wish I could afford to hire me a young person just to edit my videos. Okay, we're going to need some triangles. And I think I already had some cut. Yep. See how, I know you can see this other screen. See all this white? These are scraps from the yardage. And I've been using these scraps on my star climber. I don't keep cutting from the yardage. I just keep using from what I have here. And some of this is different from other pieces of it. And that's okay because you can't really tell the difference anyway. You just have to make sure that your half triangles are the right size for the star part of it. And so I keep all this white together so I can use it, keep using it up. Probably going to use this to make triangles with. Okay, now then. Uh-oh. What did I just put? Really? I just got through cutting the star fat paper and drawing on it. Now I can't find it because I laid it somewhere. Doggone it. All right. Can y'all see the paper I was just messing with? Yeah, it's right up underneath this triangles. Okay, now I need, now with these stars, you can use a glue stick. And what I do is I put these, the bigger triangle that you use here, I go ahead and put it on here first. And then I can trim it. And then I'll start sewing onto it. Bunnies are loving the cooler weather in the high 80s right now. We just cannot quite get the cold this far south. But it should start happening soon, right, Andrea? Probably next month. You should start getting cooler temperatures. I haven't seen where there's any more discussion on any other hurricanes sitting out on the Atlantic. Unless I've missed something I don't know about. So I'm just gluing the triangles on first. And then I'm going to trim and then start sewing. And I need a different foot too. Right. Okay, what can we talk about? So before my kids were all grown up, or they became adults, that is, and went on their own way, my most favorite of holidays was Thanksgiving because I loved cooking. And so they all have this memory of every time I would do Thanksgiving. And so I'm kind of curious, what is your favorite holiday and what part of the holiday and the holiday that you love the most? Just name one for right now. What is the one holiday you love the most? And then tell me one thing, what makes it so special to you? Is it cooking? Is it giving gifts? I mean, what makes that holiday that you love so much special to you? Tell me in the chat. Let's talk about that. Maybe this year, me and Nikolai actually put a Christmas tree up. We haven't put one up lately. When he's not here, I don't even bother. Okay, I did my first Halloween craft project video last week. Cool. Hey, I watched that video, by the way. Bunnies are loving the cooler weather. We usually get our rainy season in November, then it cools down, says Andrea. She said she lives just 30 miles from Galveston, so we almost always have sea breezes going on. And then she asked the bot to tell the weather, which it did. Let's see what the bot says about our weather here. Because according to my computer, it says it's 34 degrees, but here at the house it's warmer than that. But that teases the. It says 36 degrees. All right, we'll set the white aside for right now because now what I'm going to do is trim. And my rotary cutter. Terry says, Christmas is always my favorite. Easter next. Always seems that we gather as a family the most. Okay. Sounds like fun. Okay, so we've got this first piece done. Now then, get the second one done. Beaver says, I like that guys Fox Day they have in UK just for the jokes, laugh out loud. So what happens on Fox Day? And I'm probably not saying that right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just trimming so that I can start sewing. I'm going to just trim two of them to start with so that I can work on the one color I plan on using on two sides of it. Okay, now I've got two of them done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take two sets of these. We'll start with the orange. And then we're going to be doing sewing number 2. Which I got to make sure I put this on here right. Yeah. All right, so let's do a light one on this one. And all I'm going to do is I'm turning it toward it and then I'll pin it so it doesn't move. And I got to make sure my straight pin is not in the way of the machine foot. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one, only I'm going to use, yeah. Go ahead and put this one on as well. And then we're going to just start sewing. Becky, do you like the paper piece? The reason I'm mentioning is one thing I've noticed about doing the Star Climber and the dragon fruit project is outside of having to use, well, with the Star Climber, I'm using scraps. So really it's not that big of a deal thinking about it. And doing a little prep with the paper, but once you start sewing, you don't even think about what you're doing, you're just doing. This is another thing that you can do. Maybe you have a paper piecing project that you haven't messed with in a long time or something that you could potentially sew to help try to get your mojo back. All right. Cynthia says Christmas is my favorite because of everything about it. Music, movies, colors, and most of the family getting together. Fever says they have fireworks. Yeah, we have fireworks on New Year's. Big ones. Let me see here. Terry says, I like to, do you have a channel? She likes to, yeah, she does. Andrea, share your channel, please. Or I can, hang on a minute, wait. Oops. I can share Andrea's channel, actually. I think. I believe she's in the bot. Nope, she's not. Let me see. I must have put Mama J. Yeah, there's Andrea's channel for those who's asking. And Fever Dream also posted his channel. So if you haven't been to his channel, his or her, go over there and visit. All right. Okay. So now on. Now I'm just going to push it or press it to the side. My little seam roller on it. I'm not going to cut it yet. You'll see what I'm going to do here in a minute. Pin out of it. Do the same thing with this one. Now we're going to put number 3 on here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. And then we'll sew this on, and then I will do another trim, and then we'll get the white part put on. I need to stand up for a second. Man, guys, we are all down and out right now. Yeah, some of us have been having health issues lately. Part of life. unfortunately. Alex said she was going live today, but she thinks tomorrow will be a better day for her. At least hopes it is. I'll tell you, our little YouTube community is growing. Andrea says she subbed Fever Dreams channel. Thank you, Andrea. Those of you who have small channels that are fairly new, or just you're a small channel and you want a little help growing it, y'all need to hang out over on Kevin's channel, Tuber Chat Connect and Grow, and get to know the all the members that are in there. I hang out in there too. You get to know everybody, and a lot of us will swap playlists. And you're probably going to ask me, well, what is swapping a playlist? It's where you agree to go watch a playlist of their channel, and while you're doing their playlist, they're also watching one of your playlists. And so the purpose of it is to help give not only watch hours, but also view numbers. You get credit for how many views that video gets based on who all is going there. That's part of what's helping my channel grow, because people are watching my or I'm swapping playlists with other channel creators, and I feel like that's what's helped my channel a lot. And with me being out, not being able to soak the last 2 weeks, I've been putting in a lot of watch hours on other people's channels. I watched one of Sean's playlists. He has 171 videos on this one playlist, and I've watched all of them. Shonda had a playlist of 61 in one playlist, and I watched all of them. I caught a whole playlist of Stacy's, which is Create and Relate. I've been working on Fever's website a bit. Something weird's going on where when I post comments when I'm doing the playlist, it's not showing me commenting, so I don't know what's going on with that. Uh-oh. No, I did it right. Okay, I was about to say, wait a minute. Okay, so we got this part done. Trim this one. Okay, let's see. Most everybody answered my question about the holiday part. So let me see what other question I can ask. Also, if you're not subscribed to Zaza's channel, y'all can stroll on over there and help her too, because she's very new as well. Let me see here. Okay, got those two done. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and take care of this one and get these sets of colors done. So I'll set these aside for right this minute. All right. So you see when I'm using these rectangles, there's small pieces like this size, but I still have quite a bit of a rectangle left here that I can reuse on another star. I can intermix it with another color. So these will not get wasted. Ah, Kevin's ears must have been burning. Hey, Kevin. The channel creators have to be active to comment for all the other certain comments to not show. Wait. Yeah, I'm talking about when I comment. When you watch when you're doing watching a playlist and you're doing replays, you can comment on each video if you want to. And that's where I'm talking about. I'm making comments on each of the videos I've been watching, and my comments are not showing up, which is very strange. Hi, Kevin. It's good to see you. We were just talking about your channel, and I was telling them if you're a small channel and need a little help to grow, your best bet is to go over to your channel and get to know everyone there. And everyone can, you know, I was talking about playlist switching. Or I'm sorry, playlist swapping. That's what I meant. That's one way to get more people to your channel. Plus, Kevin can help promote your channel. The more you hang out in the community and be part of the YouTube community, Tuber Chat community. Sorry, there's lots of people there. You don't have to limit yourself to just quilters. Because believe it or not, some of them will come and watch your videos, even if that's not their niche. I have plenty that come and watch mine. Like you have Fever Dreams in here right now. You got Stacy from Create and Relate. She comes and hangs out in my channel quite often too. Sometimes I see Michael from Michael. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his exact channel name. And I've got Kristen, who comes from Whisper Farms Homestead. She comes and watches from time to time. I've actually made quite a bunch of new friends that I didn't expect to happen. And a lot of them have really great channels that I like to go watch. Especially the homesteading ones and the crafty ones, and like Andy and I have really hit it off of Crafty Witch 232. So we're doing once a month a live on crocheting, which hadn't occurred to me to do until now. And that's turning out to be a successful live once a month that we do together. Not so good. My leg is starting to bother me. That's why I was standing up. I'm probably going to have to stop soon. Yes, please. Yes. Yeah, it's starting to bug me. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to stop soon. But I thought I'd at least try to get a star done. I'm just happy I got that block finished. And you meet a lot of nice people. There is lots of nice people. Shirley, who lives in Alaska, there's another channel. There's 2 channel creators that visit Kevin's channel that are that Curmudgeon is one of them. I don't have any that lives in Alaska, and I forget who the other person is that lives in Alaska. So there's channels that actually are tied to living in Alaska, and that's another exposure that you might not normally get if you just limit yourself to just one thing. Especially if you're wanting to grow your channel. Wait, I missed something. It surprises me how many people are watching my 15-year-old content when I used film bands. Yeah. You'd be surprised. I mean, when I first started my channel, I didn't think people would watch any of my videos. Sorry, my eyes are really blurry. I was outside talking to my neighbor. He got hurt badly from an arrest he made. He is a deputy sheriff. The guy about destroyed his left. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Rita. And Tuber Chat says, oh, he's sharing some, he's doing some networking. Rita says, but wait, you are telling me that we have to be nice. You're funny. We're always nice. Except when I get feisty about certain things.
Don't forget to jump in the water too.
Jump in the water for what?
With immersion suit.
Oh, we're not even talking about that.
I know. I'm just telling them.
They won't even know what you're talking about.
Well, they have to look for it then.
Yeah, it's a short.
I'm gonna stir a little bit.
Yeah, go cause some trouble. Nikolai's about to come stir up trouble. Felicia says that she's been crocheting all week making. Felicia, do you have a YouTube channel? Since you're a crocheter? Rita says, Jaja, crocheting is a lot of fun. Yes, it is. That mandala is an example of me crocheting. That's behind me on the wall. That's crocheted. It took me a year to do that one. Don't forget to... I don't know if they're going to get the pun.
I think living and crafting MS had got it maybe.
I don't know. They would have to watch the short to know about that. I don't know if they watched the shorts or not. Nora, you have got to stay off my foot pedal.
Re-education.
Yeah, for your emergency paramedics or not paramedic stuff, the how to get people off the ship when it's going to sink or is on fire or whatever. Jumping in cold water, Arctic waters, that is. Oh, just so you know, he's talking about jumping in the water in immersion suits. My husband doesn't know how to swim. He's a sailor of 31 years and he doesn't know how to swim.
Yep, that's true.
Thought you would enjoy that piece of news. Oh, oh my gosh, that one was way over on that one because I forgot to trim that one. That's why. Wow. All right. This one's correct. Or there are other ways to crochet like a pin loop. There's lots of simple crochets you can do to just learn how to crochet first. There is a video of me jumping. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then Rita says that now there's an idea. Get out my round peg loom and do a live on using it with crochet. Yep, see? Alex says they don't make them in elf size, or my favorite thing to say is life size doll. Then Rita says, before I forget, Nico, you've got a haircut. Looks great. Someone noticed. Yeah. And then Denise says, how is the apartment fire? Did the building burn down, and what would you do to escape a fire like that has spread from house to house? They got the fire out. Now, as to if a fire goes from house to house, what to do, I don't know.
Probably do.
You'd probably just evacuate, right?
Yeah, probably best to see it tomorrow in the morning.
But tomorrow when it's daylight, we'll go and make a small video of it so y'all can see. Today would have been a bad time to be going down there making a video at someone else's expense. That would have been rude.
Yeah, totally rude. Patricia,
because we don't even know how many families got displaced from that fire. Me and Nikolai tended to, when stuff like this goes down in town or something bad happens that we know about, we tend to don't go and hang about. We wait till the next day to go check it out. I'm hot.
All right, I can open the door again.
I'm on fire over here.
I can open the door again.
Sitting here sweating.
But I can still smell that.
Is the smoke going to come in the house?
No, I can smell the burnt wood.
Because I was just going to say we could open the back door. You think so?
Yeah.
Because the air would be coming from the north end of the house.
Little one out.
She's probably going to know there's a smell difference.
Yeah. When I open the door, there's this hunt of
It's probably going to smell for a few days, unfortunately.
We're doing our room is open, right?
I think both of them are open. I didn't even think about that. Crap. Now, wait. Laura said, I missed some. Katie, I love crochet. My grandma taught me when I was really young. I used thread to crochet several christening gowns. Oh, that's cool, Laura. Denise says, you are brave soul, Nikolai, to live on the sea like that and not a swimmer. I don't have wings, so don't fly. I don't have fins, so I don't get in the bodies of water greater than a pool. Hey, Patricia, it's good to see you. And Patricia says, is that the hubby I hear in the background? Yes, it is. Come say hi to Patricia, babe.
No.
She just came in the chat.
Hi, Patricia.
Oh, I can smell it.
Yep.
You sure it wouldn't be better that side?
I don't know.
It might be better on that side.
Let's see.
Or the whole area is enveloped with the cloud.
Yeah.
I guess you'll be able to tell when you go outside. I had a fire here in the neighborhood, Pat, right up the road from us. There's some well, we actually have apartments across the street from us too, but it was the second set. You had to pass over another. It's on the same street as us, but you go one block away, and it was that set of apartments that caught on fire tonight. We don't know what happened yet. We haven't heard, or if anyone got hurt. We don't know any of that at this point. But tomorrow, I'm sure we're going to know. So lots of people coming down here looking. But I can actually smell it because he cracked the door. Didn't you say you have no car? How do you evacuate? Denise, by helicopter. Well, actually, if we had to leave this into the neighborhood, we could just walk to the other side. I mean, if we had to like go downtown or something like that, we could. It's down where the actual town is at, where the government buildings and the stores are. It's only about 2 kilometers away. Which, if 2 kilometers is about 1 mile, something like that, I think. I hope that everybody got out. We don't know. Nikolai chose not to go down there and see what was asked questions because they had firefighters and everything down there, and you know our town is small, so you don't want to get in the way because these roads here are a bit narrow. Golly, I can smell that. Oh, that means I can't open windows like I usually do. You're right. I can smell it, honey. Was this with the front door open or the back door?
Front.
Northern Lights. Again. Oh, look, you all.
I wish you could have taken that camera. There. Want to see something?
Yeah, hang on.
Here.
Yeah, but I don't know if they can see it with my camera with the video running.
Let me show you your.
I don't know if you can see it with that camera or not.
Let's see.
I don't know how it's going to do with the video because I use night shots for that.
I know. I made that. All right, just give me that.
Maybe you could just log on.
I don't know.
Log on to the Zoom.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, log on to the Zoom.
Let me see if you have sent it to my.
Yeah, it's on your in. If you need it off the. If you need me to. Okay. Yeah, do it like that and then go outside and do that. Because I don't want to try it with this and then mess up everything. He's going to go outside to see if you guys can see the Northern Lights because he's going to log on to Zoom. And then I'll spotlight him so you can see.
Oh.
It's yeah, it's 35 degrees Celsius. No, Fahrenheit, sorry. Not Celsius, because then it would be hotter than you know what. Is it going to show it?
Send me the link to my.
Oh, send it to the other one. Okay, hold on a minute, babe. Y'all hang on a minute. Nikolai's gonna try to get on Zoom and go outside so you guys can see the northern lights, we hope. But give me a minute to send him a Zoom link. All right.
The fire department still down there.
They're still down there? They must still have
More fire.
there must be still something going on then if they're still there. I sent you the link. Okay, he'll be logging on here in a minute. Here you go. This is about the fire. What fire? Wow, I hear echo. Echo. You don't have to turn it off, baby. It's not bad in here. Yeah, it's fine. All right, now let me spotlight you. I don't know if y'all can see anything or not. All I see is two white dots. I don't think they can see it.
You waited too long.
Hey, Rita, that's a fire that happened 50 years ago. Let me see if K&R said anything about it. Hold on 1 minute.
You waited a little bit too long.
Too long?
Yeah. This is what I was trying to show them.
Oh gosh, that's beautiful. Well, they can see it. No, it hasn't made it into the news yet on K&R. Look at that, y'all.
That is what I was trying to show you.
That says 50 years ago in Nuke. We're not in Nuke. Wait a minute. Let me click on her link again.
This one's open though.
That doesn't smell like smoke coming from that side. Yeah, it says 6 years ago this was posted. Yeah, it hasn't made it in the news yet that I can see. Yeah, we've had northern lights for the last 3 days and it's been crazy beautiful. Now, there was a fire earlier today off the East Coast. I can actually show you that one. Maybe. One minute, okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm going to share my screen. This is what happened at 6:30 tonight. And this is one of the local news pages for South Greenland, or I mean for Greenland period. Um, so this you can see there's a lot of black smoke here. This is at the airport. And it, according to this, it says on Saturday a fire broke out with heavy smoke in Gulusuk. According to an eyewitness, the fire broke out in a building near the settlement's airport. Greenland Airport states on its website that the settlement airport is closed as a result of the fire. According to Greenland's airport, it is the airport's workshop, the old workshop, that is burning, and the airport is therefore closed with immediate effect. Parts of the airport equipment were destroyed. The extent of the damage is still not known, and they don't know how it started either currently. But look at all that black smoke. That happened off the East Coast today in a small village. I just hope it's not something that someone did. Hang on a minute. I want to see if there's anything in this thing about our fire here. It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like they've reported the fire yet. Okay, back to regular scheduled what we were working on. Okay. Too much rain to see lights at my home, says Sylvia. We've been having a lot of northern lights the last 3 days now. And whenever I see that Nikolai's outside for a long time, that means there must be some good ones. Normally I would go out there, but with my pain the way it is, I've kind of been sticking close to the house. All right, we got this one done. Once I get this one trimmed down, then all I have to do is put the rest of the white on it, and then it'll be ready for sewing together. Okay, so as you can see, I've got parts of this done. Now all I have left to do now is I need to put the white on the outer edges, which are half triangles. Okay. More?
What?
Did you find more?
No, they're still visible, but I was starting to see the fire.
How bad is it?
Apparently it's bad.
Did anyone get hurt?
Not that I've heard of, but the fire department, ambulance, and the police are down there.
So there is an ambulance down there.
Yeah, just as a backup, because right now I can see that the police, not police, fire department is walking on top of the group too.
Oh, they're probably checking to see if it caused.
And it's still smoking a little bit.
Did it look like it affected more than one apartment?
Looks like it.
Great. So we're going to have more than one family displaced right now. That's not good. That's not good at all.
Looks pretty bad.
I wouldn't be surprised. And those buildings are, how old do you think those buildings are?
Since the 60s, I think.
Really? They're that old?
Yeah, they're old, man.
I didn't realize they were that old.
Nora.
Oh, I need one more triangle. This.
I might be maybe walk down there where we used to have drop in the water. Maybe
Oh, right over there?
Yeah. Maybe I could get some. Try to come back again.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Unless you're stopping soon.
I'm going to, after I get this one star done, I'm probably going to stop because I'm in pain. But I want to finish the star, and then they're back again.
Oh.
Nikolai's gone back outside to capture some more northern lights, y'all. Okay, let's get these triangles sewn on, and then I can trim it, and then we can sew it all together. Felicia says, I'm praying for the Greenland residents. Uh-oh. Oh, Nico's logging back on. Nope, can't see it. Yeah, all we see is two little white lights. Sorry, babe. It's okay, Nora. Daddy's just investigating something. In pain, Katie? You've been doing 3 hours now, said Rita. I was fine until about 20 minutes ago. And then I noticed that it was starting to hurt. That's why you've been seeing me stand up a lot. This chair is aggravating things. But I thought I'd at least try to finish this star. It is, I mean, I don't have to, but it would be nice. You can see it under the lights. Oh, you could see it. Rita said she could see it, honey. Okay, let's get this side sewn on first. I couldn't see it because I have too many lights on in this room. So I wasn't sure what y'all were seeing. He's probably gone down to the lake. Nora. Nora. Don't you run off. Okay, got that one side.
It's so funny.
Rita said she could see them.
Oh, okay.
I just couldn't see them because I have all this glare in here.
Yeah.
Now Jaja said she could see the white spots. Oh,
It happened so fast.
they're moving around a lot.
You need to.
Oh no. Wow.
Funny thing is, I can video record them, but the Zoom cannot get it.
That's crazy. That is so cool. I hope to see in person someday, said Jaja. Wow. Linda says, you're so lucky. Huh?
Come and go fast.
Do you want your phone back so you can get more?
Not that visible. It's more like a haste now.
Okay. You can do, there's a setting on these phones that me and him have. It's called Night Shot, and it pulls in more of the northern lights. It's still not as good as people with Canon cameras or Nikons. And I need a special lens for my Canon camera so I can use it for doing this. This is so cool. Jaja says, my fiance said, wow.
Like I said, they come and go fast.
Rita says, that is what I loved when I spent 18 days in Anchorage, Alaska back in December of '85. Seething, yeah, they're very amazing. That's the fire that went on. Here, babe. I'm gonna have to stop, I think.
Yeah, stop that.
The pain's getting to be a pain. I'm going to stop, I think, because the pain's starting to be more than I want to tolerate. It's running down my leg again. Okay, so tomorrow, don't forget about the live I'm doing tomorrow. It's at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time with Danny and Myra. We will be doing our mental health live. So we'll be talking and basically, yeah. So please join me at that. Also, thank you for coming tonight. And if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. I'd appreciate it if you did. Thank you for coming to my live. I appreciate all y'all and your support and everything you do for my channel. Y'all have helped my channel grow, and I appreciate all of you, and I love you guys. And remember to live, laugh, love, and dream. And what do you do with that? You make something beautiful. See you tomorrow. And make sure you take care of each other. Gosh, man.